failed. Okay, guys. So where's my share screen? Okay, so let's start talking today about programs. So let's do, before we do that, let's create a matrix. So just for fun, and I will use this one as an example. So let's assume that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's create this matrix, guys. This one here. Okay, now what I want from you is just create, using the sequences, create X left to right. So this implies I want the 2, 4, 6 to appear in the first column. Okay. Ready, guys? So how do you do that?
Reshape.
Yeah, so what I need to do is I need to change the columns, right? So all my rows are going to be the same. And then what I will do is what?
For the sequence for the columns, you just put and colon -1.
Yep.
Colon 1.
Column 1. Do you agree? And this is smart to use and here, guys, because this is more generic. Do you agree? Or if you don't want to use n, what else can you use?
Just 2 for the second column.
Yeah, you can use 2, but if you don't want to use 2, you can use the size command, right? The size of x comma 1. Guys, so this is okay, yeah? This is okay. So what I'm saying is that I don't want to use n, I want to use the size. So what I need to put here, size of what?
Do you have to put 2 for the second?
Of x.
X comma, yes. I want the size of x, what dimension?
Second dimension?
Second dimension. Do you agree? First dimension is a row, second dimension is a columns, correct?
Yeah.
So we should obtain exactly the same. Okay, now create an, so you understand what we have done. There is another one here, guys. Let's call it XLR auto. Remember, we have this flip left to right. Basically, that's the same, right? Oopsie. Basically, that's the same. This is a MATLAB command, flip left to right. All right, so we know how to do this by ourselves and how to do that using the MATLAB command. So now, guys, what I want is, let me write this x again. And then I want x to be, let's call it up and down. And so basically here, what I want is 5, 6 to be the first row, 3, 4 to stay in the second, and 1, 2 to be the last row.
Can we flip it again?
Oh yeah, without the flip, without using the flip, just do with the X, the way we know using the sequences.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we said we want the last row to be the first row.
Yes, exactly. So basically move the vector in such a way that the first vector, the last row is going to be the first row, the second stays, and the first row is going to be the last one. Ready?
Yes.
Perfect. So you tell me how to do it.
So you're gonna say X and then it's the
Yep.
brackets, and then you're gonna do the square brackets. You're gonna start with 3.
Oh,
we change
okay.
the row.
Yep.
3, and then
Yep.
colon -1, colon 1, and then close the square brackets, comma, and then all the rows. So
Right.
colon.
That's correct. Okay, so now there is one particular thing with MATLAB is that, remember, a sequence for MATLAB is already a vector. Do you agree? So basically this one here, we don't need this one here. That's what I'm saying. Because for MATLAB, this is already a vector. MATLAB considers this as a vector. Make sense?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so now what if I don't want to use the 3? Because what if I change your X? Now X has 4 or 5 or 6 rows. I want
Yeah.
to make this more generic.
Don't you use end?
Yeah, you can use N. This is one option. And if I don't want to use N,
Use size,
Size.
size
and then
of
you
one. Yep.
X and 1.
X and 1, correct? So all of them are correct. Huh? The thing is that what I want from you guys is to get used to this type of notation. End is perfect, size perfect, length is perfect, etc. Okay?
Please, Professor, just
Absolutely.
explain. So with the size, okay, I
Yep.
get that a size of X because that's the vector. How do we choose whether it's 1 or 2?
Yes.
What?
I
what's the-
understand. Yep.
Yeah.
So do you understand this one here? Size of X, when you use size of X, it tells you 3 and 2, correct? This 3 means what? Number of rows.
The rows, yeah.
And this 2 tells you number of columns. So now, if you're interested just in the columns, what you do is you do size of X, comma 1. So this is telling, give me the size of X, position 1. What is the position 1? That you know are the rows,
It's the rows, okay.
correct? Sorry.
Mhm.
And then if you want the columns, simply do column, this one here.
Okay.
Okay? It's very, very, very simple. Okay, guys. So now what we're going to be doing finally, I think we have enough to start creating programs. So can you open this one very big, guys? This upper side, and let's create a new work file, a new program. So just click here in the plus. You see my screen?
Professor, how do we save again? Sorry, because I just want to save the one I was working on.
Oh, you just save and write a name.
So you just say
Save, I don't know the name, nn.mat, and that's it. It will save.
okay, got
It will
it.
save what you have. Okay. Okay, so now can you please open this part here, the upper part, that is a program side, and let's create a new program. So in order to create a new program, guys, just click on new, like that. You see my screen? An empty space. Guys, are you with me?
Did you click script?
Yeah, a script. Yeah, you can do a script or simply the plus. A script is perfect. So if you do this, a script is good. Just click on the plus and appears in a script. A script is a generic. Okay, we can create functions. That's what we're gonna be doing here. Are you with me?
Yes, I have it now.
Yes.
Excellent. So we have an empty one. So what we're going to be creating, guys, is MATLAB programs. Okay, MATLAB programs end with a .m. Got it? And the MATLAB program starts always with a word function and a space. Got it? And then what comes later, let's start first with the name. So let's call this let's call example flip up and down. Oops. Or, you know, let's call it example flip because we're going to do both. Got it? So, and normally, guys, if you want to save this one here, MATLAB is going to consider this name, the name of the function as the name of the file. If you want to change, you can change it, but I suggest you to keep the name of the file to be the same as the name of the program. Got it? So now what we can do is, okay, but what happens? Yeah, so let's enter here. And then normally, do you remember when we do help something, guys? We have this program does blah, 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 blah. Remember? So if you want someone to read your program and to know what your program is doing, what you do is basically create the first part, the introduction of your program. This percentage number implies MATLAB, don't execute this one here. These are simply commentaries. Right? And this one here is just for you don't know, aesthetics. And then what we can do here is perhaps this program computes the up and down as well as the left to right matrix transformations. Let's call it like that. Got it? And then what you can do also is perhaps you can enter some questions. Data should come in a matrix form, for example. Something like that. These are ideas that you want to give your reader. Okay, now for you guys, what I will always ask, please, is to do program created by, in this case, Eric, let's say. And then what I want from you is summer 2023. Make sense? So your programs are going to be always like that. Your surname, etc. And then just the summer 2023 that I know that we're in this summer. And then your commentary is as clear and as specific as you want. Okay, so the commentaries, guys, are the ones that appear here, for example. So let's do flip up and down. Yeah, this part here, you see? So the description of your program is the one that we are describing here.
Can you go back to it again, 2 seconds, Paul?
Wait, where?
Can you go back to the program?
Oh, here's my program.
No, below.
Oh,
what you
the
were
worksheet, the
indicating.
workspace. Yeah, the workspace, yes. So when you do help something, always appears a description of a program. Do you agree? Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is when someone is going to do help X flip. This part here is what is going to appear. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And basically, guys, some people now also include examples. You can include as many things as you want. I have seen programs. In one of my students last year was fantastic, like creating the description. So he created almost one-page description, you know, with examples. So it was very nice. And this is also useful for you, but it's also useful for the people that is going to be using your program, right? That at the end of the class, we do that. So you create a program and some of your colleagues is going to be able to read, understand, and run. Okay, guys, ready? Okay, so what this program is going to do is basically do that flip. You're going to receive a matrix X solis. For now, I will start the simplest way. Okay, so where's my X? Where I define my X? X. Oh, here we go. So let's assume, guys, that my data is inside my program. So the first thing I will do is I will insert my data. Okay, of course, this is inefficient, but let's start with a very simple example. Okay, so my data comes here. So then what we said is, okay, what I want is to flip up and down, right? So what I will call is, I will do a command here, flip left to right. Okay, so what we have done before is, remember, I can copy this one here. I can use this one here. Correct? And then the second one is going to be flip up and down. And then what I can do is say something we have done already, left and right. Where's this one here? And that's all. Okay, so everyone, can you do this? Today we're going to do dummy programs. These dummy programs are extremely useful for everything that we're going to be doing later. So you tell me when you are ready, guys.
So now, let me see if I get, now we're just like explaining ourselves, not actually executing.
Oh, no, yes, we are not yet executing. Now we're going to execute. Are you with me, guys? Do you have all these parts here?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to save it. Okay, just save it. And do you see that, guys? My function is called ex example flip. The name of an Excel file, my MATLAB file, so it's going to be ex flip. Got it? And the extension is going to be .m. And then you simply click save. You need to remember, you need to be working in the working directory, okay? Your working directory. My working directory is this one here. Summer 2023 program MATLAB files. You just save, and so you're ready. Everyone is with me? So now, how do I run this program? Running the program is very simple, guys. You just copy the name in the main program. Let's do example flip run, and you can see XLR XUD. Then you have the results. You see, and X is also printed. Why is X also printed? Because I haven't done the semicolon. If you don't want to print something, guys, you simply do semicolon. Do you agree? So semicolon is not for printing. It's for not printing. The issue is that if I have a program like this, if I write semicolon everything, so take a look to what happens. You save, you run, you see nothing appears. And let me clean 1 second. Let me clean this one here. Yeah. So let me see who's here. Let me type who's here. Just want to be sure no one is here. Okay, so let's run this example. Flip. It ran, you see? Now let's write whose. There is no one. So we have run the program, but there is nothing returned. Do you agree with that? Okay, so here comes the, yes.
What did you do before calling your function xflip? Because mine doesn't recognize the variable that I saved it as.
No, you need to put the x in here in the program at this point. So you're not inputting anything. It's the input is already in the program.
Yeah, but when I take it to the script and say xflip, unrecognized function or variable xflip.
X what?
Xflip,
Oh, yeah. So you need to be sure that where have you saved this file?
I saved it a similar way that you saved yours as well.
No, you need to say, can you do a CD? You need to be sure that your MATLAB program is in this location, in the location that you're working. Where have you saved it? Can you print your location? Just do CD.
Yes, I found where it is.
Okay, so now be sure that your file, that the one that you have created here, is located in the same directory, in the exact same directory.
And if it's printing where I didn't save it, how do I tell it to go fetch it where I saved it? Because it said I saved it on my OneDrive and I didn't. I saved it in the
you need
folder
to
called
tell them. Yeah, you need to tell them. Well, when you see here save, so you go editor here. Let's do save as, and then you select where you want to save it.
Okay.
It's like a regular saving command. And then you need to be sure, guys, you need to be sure that indeed you are, sorry, that you are, this is mine, okay? I don't know what is yours. You need to be sure that the programs you are creating are going into this directory, into the directory you're working with. Okay, everyone needs to be sure that the program runs, guys, because if it doesn't run, we are not going to be moving.
And we make sure that the program runs because when we press at the top and it says runs, then it needs to come onto our command window. Is that what you're saying, Professor?
Wait a second. So in order to run this one here, what you do normally is you take the name and you type the name here. You type the name there.
Oh, okay. Let me try.
Okay, and then you simply run. And of course, it appears nothing because I have a semicolon everything. If I want something to appear, I simply do remove the semicolons of the XLR, XLR, and XUD, and you're going to see what happens.
Okay, cool. Okay, mine runs. So should we put semicolons or no colons?
Yes. Now, in general, guys, we're going to use always colons, okay? Because we don't want to be, if you do a heavy program, a long program, creating these ones here, guys, it uses a space, okay? So these matrices drawn in my workspace use RAM memory. And the RAM memory, guys, is not big, okay? If you do a simulation with millions of data set, you can run out of the RAM memory very quickly. So that's why we normally do the semicolons. There are other tricks that we're going to do in a minute. For now, let's remove them. Oh, let's remove them. And I continue with my program, okay? Everyone has a program running, so you're able to do this program here. Guys, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So the first thing that is, this program is not really useful because imagine that you have millions of observations. Can you imagine write millions of observations in your program? It's going to be completely inefficient, do you agree? So the first thing we're going to learn, guys, to do is to start working these ones here with arguments. Okay, so if you want to import arguments to this program from somewhere, okay, what you do is that next to the name of the program, parentheses, and the variable that you want to receive. Okay, so now this one here is not going to be here. This one is going to be imported from the program, from someone that is calling you. Make sense? So if you want, we can create we can improve in this one here. So this program now Better, let's do this for the first time. Let's call it example flip 1 of X. So let's save this one here. Now flip 1. It's going to be a sequence of improvements, okay? But just to keep track of all of them. So my new model is going to be called X flip 1. The only difference with the previous one is that this one here has the input. The input needs to come from outside the program. Make sense? So that's all what I've done. So you have seen here, guys, that I don't have anymore the data. Remember that this percentage number tells MATLAB simply ignore this part here. Got it?
So we're giving MATLAB commands without something to work on.
Yes, exactly. So we need to provide the X somewhere. So now go to here and define your X. Oh, sorry. Let's define outside. Let's define this one here. So I'm defining X outside. Now, how do I run the program? Well, it's the same. So now what I need to do is I need to call the program like that. And then the program runs. You see? So this is the way in which you can import inputs to your program. Now, what is interesting, guys, is that here the name can be Y, C, whatever you can imagine, and here the name can be completely different. What MATLAB does, it takes positions. So the first position, so in this case, I have only X, but if I have X, Y, Z, I can have here A, B, C. So for MATLAB, it's going to be X, it's going to be A, Y is going to be B, etc. So the order of the inputs matter here. Make sense to you? We're going to complicate our example in a minute, but make sense to you? Your program runs?
Yes, it did.
Perfect.
Professor,
Yes.
how did you change the name of your program to X flip 1? When I tried to do that, it gave me a warning and changed it to just X example flip.
No. What you do is you save as. Every time that you want to change your name, you simply save as and then you change manually your name.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Just write the name that you have here. That's why I added first a 1. And then I add the 1 here. And I'm sure that this name here goes with this name here. Okay, so now we have done, we have been able to create basically the input, okay? Now, but what happens again if I do the semicolon here? So MATLAB is gonna run everything, but it's not going to provide any output, do you agree? The way we can create the outputs, guys, is you do bracket, equals. So let's assume here that I want to have, I can have what? X left, right, we call like that. And X up, down. I think this is the name I have been using here. X, R, X, U, T, yes. Yes, perfect. So the way you output things is with brackets. And these names here, guys, simply are going to take the last values of XLR in your program and the last value of XUD in your program. And it's going to export these two values into the worksheet or any other program. Make sense?
But what happens if we put the semicolon without doing the brackets, the XLR and XUD?
Oh, what do you mean? You don't put the what?
What if we, like in the program, we
Yeah.
put the semicolon, but then on top, before the the equal, we don't use this code in brackets, those one, yeah.
Yeah, these ones here are simply telling MATLAB, okay, run this program. This is my input variable or matrix, and return these two vectors or yeah, in this case, matrices. That's what we're saying. So basically, MATLAB is going to run. Yes,
So-
and it's going to export these two, this one and this one.
Okay, but I mean the ones on the brackets, they have to be commands or just
No. They're names, variable names. You see,
Okay.
XLR is a name. This one here is not a command, it's a name. And this one
Okay.
is also name. So basically are the outputs, guys. Make sense? Okay, so how do we run these ones here? Okay, so what we run is basically what we can do is we can copy this one here in my here, and then you simply run. Now, have you realized that I have a semicolon here and semicolon here? But now what I'm doing is I'm exporting these variables here. Now, if I don't want this to be printed, I simply do semicolon when I call the program. However, take a look. You see there is nothing here, right? And now take a look to whose. You see now? Whose now? So it's not like before. Now the two variables have appeared here.
So it did not run, but you
No. It runs.
you thought the program, but it didn't show it to you.
Exactly. It doesn't show it to me here because I have a semicolon, but when I use this format, when there is an output, this means simply don't show it to me, but it implies create this in the work file. You see that? So this is different. So let's call this one number 2, okay? Because I want to compare number 2. So let's do save as. And this one is going to be number 2. Save. Okay, so now let me open the flip number 1. Yeah, let me open this one here. Take a look. This is the flip number 1. Huh? Oh, sorry, the flip number 1 is without this one here. So I want to be clear that this is my flip number 1. Okay, so now if you don't do this, so let me clean this one here for 1 second. So I want you to understand the difference. Okay, I need to create X first. Okay, now if I run this program like it is here, you see I have written semicolon, semicolon, there is nothing. Now, is this in my program? Do you see that, guys? Here doesn't appear my XLR and XUD because I haven't outputted anything. So this program here doesn't output anything. Correct? It computes everything, but it doesn't output anything. So if you want to output something, you need to do this way. So you simply do this. And take a look. I will put a semicolon. Oh, no, not here. What I've done. I will write a semicolon. And this semicolon is going to tell what? Don't print, right? But in this case, don't print as soon as I have an output. Doesn't mean that the output is not created. The output now is going to be created. Take a look. Now the output appears. Even though it is not printed because of this semicolon, it is already available for you to work in the workspace.
So, Professor, can you go over that just one more time? Because when I did it,
Yeah. Which
it's
one?
only showing me one of the output, and it's not like separately defining them. So
Which,
what I
yeah,
so,
where?
so I have what you've typed.
Yeah,
but
can
it's
you show me your
showing-
screen better? It's much easier for me. Can you show? I will allow you to share your screen. Can you show me your
Okay.
screen very quickly?
Okay.
Yeah. So you have XLR, XUD. Yeah, okay, the name is okay. Okay, can you go down? That's okay, you have your input output. Yeah, you have your X is going to be exported, your XUD is going to be exported. Okay, perfect. Yep. Can you go up? The names are correct, right? XUD, XLR, XUD. Okay. XLR. Yes, perfect. So you can run this one. Yeah, from there. Wait a second, but you need to tell MATLAB the outputs also. You need to write XLR XUD. Copy the function. Copy into your function, copy the complete. Yeah, copy. Yes, exactly. Copy. Down. Yes, now you run. Yes, well, you have printed. So can you do this again with a semicolon? In the yes, semicolon. Run. Yeah, and now do whos. So it appears there. You see that? So if you want to have the output, you need to tell MATLAB exactly what output you want. Makes sense? If you don't put the output, simply MATLAB is going to run. It's not going to provide you any output. Make sense to you guys? Guys, make sense?
So what if we create the XLR and XUD, but only on the brackets we put only one? Then
so yeah,
it
you
will
can
not
do that.
appear in the whos, or it will.
No. It will appear in the whos. It will definitely appear in the whos. So basically, guys, the function, that's the what is interesting about the function. The function has a specific format. Do you see? Now, the issue, if you just put XLR, if you do XLR in the program, so imagine you want to do this stuff only, yeah, that's okay. But the one that uses your program is going to be able only to find XLR. You see? Make sense or not?
Yeah, I understand now. Thank
Yes.
you.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So, for example, can you do this? Okay, let's create a matrix A. Okay, and A is going to be, imagine 1 to 9. And let's do AA, let's reshape this. What I'm doing here, guys, is reshape A 3,3. Can I do that or not? So what the
Yes.
reshape does, the reshape command does?
It like changes it to from a vector to a matrix, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be a matrix of 3 rows, 3 columns, right? Okay, so this is the way reshape works. The number of rows, number of columns. Now, I need to be sure that the product of this, 3 times 3 is 9, is exactly equal to the number of observations that I have here. I have 9 observations, 3 times 3 is 9, so this should work. So what I've created is a matrix like that, matrix AA. Get it? Okay, can you copy this one here? We're going to use our program to continue working. Are you with me?
Yes.
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 Perfect. Okay, so now what I want is I want to call my program. I want to call this program here. Obviously, guys, that I don't want to work with X anymore. What I want is I want to work with AA, correct? This is what I want to pass as a matrix to flip. And this is what I was telling to you. The name here, not necessarily should be the name here. Here can be called X, and of course, if here is called X, your X should be all around. But what I'm doing here is I'm using a different matrix that's called AA. And also, I want my output not to be called X. I want this to be called AARR and AAUD. Should work, right? The only thing that matters, guys, is the order. So if you put UD here, so for example, if I move this in here, this position, MATLAB has no idea which one is which. So you need to be sure that this one here really corresponds to the left, right, the name, and this one here corresponds to the up and down. And how do you know that? Well, you need to read the program. Because some guys, perhaps some guy wrote XUD first, XLR later. So the order here must be the same as the order that you want your output to be. Make sense? So there is no way MATLAB is going to recognize that. No program, actually, not even Python, R, or whatever you can imagine. Got it? So if you run this one here, as soon as I'm not using the semicolons, here we go, guys. LR, we have it. So this is the 789. 789 moves to the first one, 1, 2, 3 moves to the end, etc. Make sense to you?
So I have a question.
Yes.
The program is a lot like a macro.
It is. Well, it's more powerful than a macro. You're gonna
I mean, but you are telling it to do something, and it doesn't matter what that something is, as long as, like, if it has the same.
As soon as they do. Yes, exactly. As soon as you.
As soon as it makes sense, it will run it for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Completely right. And make sense is crucial, because you know what, you can put whatever here, and if you don't understand what is this one here, okay, whatever result is for you. Make sense? You need to
May I
understand.
please go back to the command that gave you this output?
Oh,
Just the,
this one.
thank you.
It is the same command. Remember, it's the name of the function, the input that is a matrix, and the output that is two matrices. First, the left, right, and second, the up and down. Because here the program tells you first is left, right, second is up and down. You can change the order here, guys. If you want, you do up and down, left and right later. It's up to you. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, guys. So now let's do another example. Let me do the following. Let's do another program. So you understand. So I have my output is in brackets, equals my function name, and my inputs are in parentheses. Got it? Okay, so let me save this one here. And now let's do another example. So let's assume that I have a matrix A, and A is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have another matrix B that is going to be equal to 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. The only thing that I want from you guys is I want to create a program that does A plus B. Okay. Thing that you need to remember, guys. What is the mathematical rule for doing sums? What is the condition for if you want to sum two matrices, guys?
They have to be the same,
size.
row.
The same
and column,
dimensions.
yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so that's the only thing. So let's call this one here. Let's create another one. Let's call this one here my matrix. Oops. My matrix sum, for example. Oh, sorry, I need to create a function first. I need to tell it's a function. Okay, and let's call this yeah, we'll put 23 here just to distinguish, because I have already. Oh, well. Okay, guys, so you have 5 minutes to create your function. Just remember, you want to simply, someone is going to input two matrices, so you need to have an input, and you're going to export an output. Got it? So you can use, for example, the names for the inputs A and B, and the name of the output X. And the only thing that you need to remember is, okay, the function is very simple, but I want you to show me, guys, how can you basically test for the conditions? Okay, and I will show you some if functions in a minute, but try to create a very simple program. Give me 1 minute, please. Okay, yes, I'm back, guys. Two more minutes and then we try to solve it, but try to do it, guys, okay? 1 minute, guys. Okay, guys, so my input is going to be A, B, right? The names can be whatever you can imagine, guys. And my output is going to be, well, if it's only one output, you don't need to put the brackets, but let's just for keeping track of what we say is this one here. Okay, then what I'm going to do is what? C is going to be equal to A plus B, simply like that, correct? Agree with me or not, guys? This should be my program if I don't want to add anything at this point. So let's say, yeah, my matrix sum 23, that's okay. Then the way we run, as soon as I have A and B already defined here, what I will do is I will call my program this way. And then if I see C, I have C. Make sense?
But this only happened because we already defined A and B in the command window.
Yeah, you need to define that. The only problem is that, yeah, if I define A not conformable with B, then I have an issue, right? Yeah, let's do, for example, D. Okay, let's create a matrix that is not conformable. Let's say, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, for example. And then what I want to do is I want to create my program to sum A plus D. It's going to appear a message, do you agree? And then you can see here, arrays have incompatible sizes for this operation. Now, what we can do, guys, is we can do that also here. We can, of course, guys, remember, you need to describe your program. Always. You need to put who's the author. Summer 2023. And then you describe this program sums matrices. Agree? Something like that. Okay, so how do I ensure that A and B are conformable, guys?
You have to check that
yeah.
You have to check that the sizes are equal to each other.
Perfect. So what I can do is I can do something like that. I can define M and N as size of A, and let's call it M1, N1 equals size of B. Do you agree? So what I need to test is that M should be equal to M1 and N should be equal to N1, correct, guys?
Yes.
That's what I need to do. Got it? So now there are a couple of things here. So let me do this. Let's do that. I always like to do this for a minute in here. So M equals M1. I'm sorry. I want this to be logic. And I want this to be, for example, R of rows. What is going to happen here, guys?
So it should return either 1 or 0, right? And
right. Do you agree? It returns 1. So what is the logic of 1? What is the meaning of 1? True.
That is true.
It's true. Okay, and then I can do the same with C. N equals N1 is 1. Oh, I cannot do C because yeah, I can call perhaps, well, call this CL. Do you agree?
But what if now you type C? What will it give you? Because we changed
Oh
the
yeah,
name.
I destroyed that already. I destroyed the C already. Remember
So it
all the
doesn't go
programs-
back
No,
to
never.
the matrix, to the
No,
sum
no,
of the
no,
matrix.
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
You need to recreate that again.
Mm.
Okay, so now what I call R. Can I do this R plus CL? So this is one way of testing that, right? If R plus CL equals 2, then we are okay, correct?
It means both are true, right?
Exactly, both are true. So basically the columns, the rows are equal, the columns are equal. So if the sum equals 2, or if you want if you want R divided by CL, if the ratio equals 1, whatever you can imagine. But the thing is that, guys, there are so many different things in which you can test for conformity, conformability of the matrices. Got it? So, however, what I will do here is something much simpler than this. Makes sense to you what I've done here, guys? Do you have questions? I have created one way in which I can test the number of rows equal the number of rows, number of columns equal number of columns. I can do that. I can do different ways. Do you see that? Do you understand? What I want from you is that you really understand what I'm doing here, because that's what we have been doing during the last classes, guys.
Yes.
Okay, so now there is another version, another way of doing this in a much simpler way. Simple way. It is what is called if, else, if commands. Okay, I will do a very simple if. So here we do if always we have a condition. Okay, so what I will do is if the size of the number of rows of matrix A, let's say, is not equal to M1. What is this one here? Do you remember? Do you remember this one here? What is the meaning of this one here? Or, do you agree? So what I'm telling MATLAB is if the number of rows of A is not equal, pardon. Where's my mouse? Is not equal to the number of rows of B, or the number of columns is not equal to the number of columns of B, then, normally what we do is there is an error an error message. So what we can say error, perhaps we can say matrices are not conformable. So you can add any message. And the if command, guys, always ends with an end. Okay, so you can have if, another condition, else, and then, but when you close your if, you need to close the loop of if, you need to do an end. And then you can do your A plus B. You can add whatever you want here. You can add, please reorganize, please blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. You can add any information that you want here. Okay, something more we are learning here. So let's save. And let's try now our, or copy here. Copy here. Let's be sure that everyone is with me here. Are you with me, guys? Everyone has the program?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's run our program. Okay, first with A and B, but we know that A and B are conformal, right? So here we go with my C. Good. So now let's run. I know that D was a non-conformal matrix. Got it? So let's run this one with D. Instead of B, let's call it D. You see that? This message here? Now this message is your message. And you can write whatever you want. You can help the guy to create a whatever. Make sense to you, guys?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I think we have, there is one more thing that you need to learn from here. We're gonna do more things, but one thing that I want you to learn. So imagine, guys, that I have now, so let's create a matrix E that is going to be equal to, let's create a conformal one. So let's do, I don't know, let's do 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, no. 23. Okay, so this is a conformal matrix. So now my question for you guys is that, you know what, I want to sum A plus B plus E. So my question for you is sum A plus B plus E. Well, if I want to change this matrix, guys, take a look. If I want to change this matrix here, I need to, if I want to add here C, this is going to be a pain, right? Because now I will have M, N, M, M1, N1, M2, M2. So I need to have a bunch of conditions here. So this is going to be getting more and more complex. If I have 5 matrices, so I don't want to be modifying my program every single time that I have an additional matrix. Do you agree? Agree with me, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the precise case in which we create, this is going to be called the primitive function. Okay, so what is the meaning of primitive function? Is one function that is going to be called by other functions. And it never changes. It's going to be like that. It's very straightforward. It will do only this part here. Now, tell me one thing, guys. Is this true or not? What if I do A plus B first, and then I add E? So if I do A plus B first, what I obtain is C, and then I can do C plus E, correct? Agree with me or not?
Yes.
Yes, so that's what exactly we're going to be doing. We are going to create a program that calls this program to create A plus B. We compute C, and then we use C to compute C plus E, using the same program, because I have 2 matrices here, and I have 2 matrices here, and I can do as many matrices as I want. Correct? Make sense? Okay, so let's do this. Let me copy this part here, okay? And let's create another program. Yeah, let's call this one, well, whatever. I don't know exactly what we're gonna call here, okay? Well, no, sorry, whatever, for a minute. I will call this one here, it's going to be my matrix. Let's put this one, the name, all, my matrix sum. I will not use this for a minute. And I will not use this for a minute. I will do this in a minute. So what this function, guys, is going to be, well, you know what? Yes, that's okay. Let me do A, B, C, and then we're going to generalize that. So this call function is going to receive 3 matrices. Make sense, guys? So I will receive A, B, and C, 3 matrices. And what I will do now is the following. So what I will do is perhaps I will do I will call C. No, I cannot call C. You know, let me call the M1, matrix 1, matrix 2, matrix 3. And then what I will do is I will do the following. I will call z equals, I need to call this function. C equals, I will multiply first matrix 1 plus matrix 2. So what I'm getting from here, guys, is C, right? That is simply summing matrix 1 plus matrix 2. And then what I will do is I will use this C that has been created. And now what I will do is the following. We'll call this D now. And this is going to be matrix, instead of matrix 1 plus C, this is going to be C plus matrix 3. And what I want to export here.
So we are creating as we go now?
As what? Sorry?
We are like creating as we go?
What do you mean as we go?
I mean, like we, like on the on the first command, we have our inputs M1, M2, and
Yes.
M3.
Yes.
But then on the last command, we have the output D, but we haven't defined it.
No. These are not functions,
this is the definition.
This is a variable. Do you agree? So what I'm saying is
It's an output, yes.
It's an output. C simply use matrix sum. I know that this one here is able to sum two matrices, correct? So these two inputs are correct. So what it will do is it will call this function. It will input these variables, and it will return to me C. And this is exactly what this does. Two inputs and returns any, well, in this case it's C, but it can be any name. Returns another matrix. So this is what it returns. Now, what I will do is I will use this matrix here, and I will add this matrix in here. So you see now, this is what I was telling to you. So A plus B equals C, correct? Then if I sum C plus the third matrix, what I obtain? My desired matrix. I don't want C, it's simply D. And then I'm done. Do you understand? So what I'm doing, guys, is I'm using one matrix that has been created for 2, but it's going to be called twice. And it's going to prepare for me the result that I want. D is equal, guys, to the sum of M1 plus M2 plus M3. Do you agree with me or not?
Yes.
Yes, can you do that? Copy this one here, save it. And let's test it together.
So the only reason like we are doing it this way is because our original matrix sum is like it's binary, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. This is of course a dummy example, but indeed, this one here is able. My program, I want to use my program. I want to use this program. Is able to work with two matrices. You see, and if I want to do 3 matrices, I still can use this program, simply satisfying the condition of two inputs. Okay, so this is the way we link programs to another programs. So we call, this is a function, correct? Inside a function. And then you can call as many functions, as many subroutines that you need to create a program. We're going to complicate our lives in a minute, but I want you to to understand what I'm doing here first.
But they all have to be in the same working directory to do that.
Oh,
right?
yeah, all of them. All of them in the same working directory. That's why it's very important for you guys. Remember, at the beginning of the class, I told you, create a directory for your files. You know, I keep mine, for example, per summer. I create new programs per class, but I always do MATLAB files. So next time that I want to use them, I simply go to them, to this directory, and I always run the program from here.
And what did you say it was called again? A preliminary function?
Oh, this one here, wait a second. No, it's not a binary. Luis was saying it's binary because it only has two inputs, but you know, it's basically two inputs. It's not a binary anything, it's two inputs simply.
But I mean, you called it something like when,
Oh,
right before you
primitive.
started doing this.
Yeah, this is
okay.
a primitive. So anyone that is inside a program is called a primitive function. So basically means that it does less complicated work than the function that is calling that. Not necessarily true, but it's basically that. So one function is called another function. Also, it's called a slave in programming. It's basically because it does what the main program asks them to do and nothing more. Make sense? And that's the way it's called. But at this point, at this function here, guys, normally I call them call because they call functions, but also some people call them main, blah, 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 etc. Okay? I use them call because it's for me easy to remember.
So like in a function we are creating and in the other we are executing?
Exactly. That's what we do. So here what we are doing is we are simply, this is my function, my main function, my call function. What I'm doing is I'm using other functions. So this function simply executes other functions and provides whatever I want. Make sense? Okay, so how do we run this stuff? Let's run this one here. Yeah, of course, I don't have M1. I call them, I think it's A. This was B, and this was, I think, E. And of course, I need to call it, well, I can call this D if I want. Well, I can call them different sum3.
Can we do whose maybe?
Yeah, let me, I don't want to. So let me see, what do we have here? Yeah, we have A, we have B, and D was wrong. Remember, so is E. Yes. Okay, so now this is good. And I want to call this sum3. So I will do this, A, B, and E. And my result is going to be stored at sum3.
But
I don't need to show it. I just do this.
Don't we have to change the inputs on the, oh no.
Okay. Remember the names here are the names here. It doesn't matter. So
yeah.
for MATLAB, M1 is the first one here do you input. The name doesn't matter. It's simply, okay, the first position is going to be matrix number 1. Well, you call it A, I don't care. The second position that we call in MATLAB matrix 2, you call it B. So MATLAB doesn't care. What it cares is the order. Okay. In this case, of course, if you put BAE, it doesn't matter because it's a sum. But there are other programs that what we're going to be creating, guys, that the order matters. So that's why you need to really understand what the code is doing. Make sense to everyone? Guys, make sense?
Yes.
Yep. Luis is the only one. Guys, everyone else, do you get it?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so let's run. And then I do sum3 because it's already memory. And here I have with my sum3. Everyone is clear. So one more trick here. Do you get these numbers, guys? 26, 29, 32, 35. Hopefully, yes, because we have used the same matrices. Do you get the same numbers, guys?
Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, take your time, because this is the one of the most important classes, guys. After that, we are going to run.
Yes, I got that.
Yeah.
Babolwa, Mafatse. Do you get it?
Just a sec.
Yep. So just let me write A, B, and E. So you have all the data. The data is this one here. Ready?
Yes.
So the sum should be 26 to 9, perfect. Okay. So now there is an additional thing, guys, that you need to know. It is sometimes what you want to analyze is you want to see the partial results, for example. You know, I want to see my matrix C, or perhaps I have mistakes and I want to check something. What you do, guys, is you do a debug mode. So debugging in MATLAB is one of the easiest things that I have ever seen. Even in Python, it's much harder than MATLAB. So just click, for example, I want to stop my program here. Do you see? Just click on the 4 in the number and appears something red. You see that, guys? Can you do the same in your program?
Just click it.
Yeah, just click it and appears the red button.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Okay, so now let's run again the program. You need to run the program from here, this one here. Sum 3 equal call matrix, etc. Just run. And you see the program didn't run completely. It is stopped here at C. And then just take a look, put your cursor next to the C. You see that? Appears 6, 8, 10, 12. Basically, you can see what is matrix 1, you can see what is matrix 2, you can see what is your partial result, and then you can continue. So, and this is useful, guys, when you're doing a big program and you want to understand what the program is doing. Is doing what I want or not? And so that's the way you debug. You know, you simply put a click here and then you start working on that. Make sense to everyone?
Yes, I understand.
Excellent, guys. So you stop, and if you want to remove this one here, you just move it here. Questions up to now? So we're going to do one more program that has a lot of things. Are you with me, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so the data set we're going to be using now is, let me clear the commands, let me clear the workspace. Okay, so let's do this one here. Let's create a matrix X that is going to be equal to, yeah, let's do 1 to 10. And I want this to, yeah, let's do age of people. So let's do imagine 18, 17, 22, 23, 17, 25, 16, 17, 22, 26, for example, okay? And then I have the gender of this individual, so it's gonna be 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Let's say 1, 1, so let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So a very simple example. So this is going to be my X, okay?
Is it transpose or not?
No, not transpose, something like that. Simply the ID is going to be the first row. The age of the individuals is going to be the second row. And the gender is going to be the third one is going to be the sex. So basically, let's say 1 woman, 0 men. Just let's adopt that. Ready with the data? So let's put this data set, guys, in a new program. So let's create a function. Let's call it census data analysis. And then from here, I don't want to import anything. It's going to be just doing that. Then you can describe your program here, guys. I will not describe it. Where's my? So you can describe, you can do a beautiful description later. So now, guys, imagine if I want to have common things that I can create with a program that I cannot be repeating programs. For example, if I want to select gender, single program can do that, right? Because gender is the only difference is going to be what? It's going to be if it's what are you looking for? You're looking for a man or you're looking for a female? Correct, guys? Make sense?
I mean, it's only 1 or 0, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I can create a program. So imagine I want to do. So let's select. I want to have first select males. From my sample, I want you to select males. Then I want you to select females. And then what we're going to be doing, guys, let's create a program that is able to select gender. Okay. So let's save this one here. Yeah, let's put this data census analysis 23. So let's save it. And let's open another one. Let's open another function that I can call gender selected 23. And then from here, what I need is a data and let's see an indicator. So let's make a comment on the indicator. Indicator is going to be, if indicator is 0, we are talking about males, right? If indicator is 1, we are talking about females. So remember, this is simply to help me, to guide me, right?
It's just the description, yeah.
Exactly, simply a description. So the program is not going to do anything here. MATLAB reads a percentage term and doesn't do anything. Okay, so here I will do a more complex if else function, guys. What I will do is the following: if indicator equals 0, so this implies gender male, right? Guys, agree? So what I do if indicator is 0? What I do? Guys, remember, we have done that. Yeah, I can do this better if I put data and indicator. So what I do, if indicator is equal to 0, so I have males, right? So what I need to do is what? And I can call this one here, perhaps, gender data. This is a name. So what I can argue is that this one here is going to be equal to what, guys? How do I select all the males of my I can call this gender, much easier.
So you want the full set of observations, but only for the males, right?
Exactly. It's what we have been doing before, guys. Remember, if I have my matrix X, okay, so from here X, how do I find all the males? So let's call this D equals what? I want from X what?
All the columns, but the rows when it's equal to 0.
Right. So basically what I can do is I can use the find command, find from X, do you agree? What X, where is my information here? Where I have that? Where I should look that? Find X what? Guys, we have done that. Where is where located the gender? Where is the gender located?
The third row.
The third, yeah.
Third row.
So it is all. Sorry. Yeah, it is. We have my X is going to be yes. So I have the third row, all columns, right? And what I want from here, I want this to be equal to 0.
Yes.
Correct? And then return, what is asking me? Yeah, return everything. Return all columns that satisfy this condition. Yep, same. Let me move this one here. Hi. Yeah. Okay, so now let's do it. I call it D. Okay, find of X equals, and then return to me is not all columns. I want, sorry, I'm looking here from X. I'm using the second one. I'm using this one here. What I'm asking here? What was my question here, guys? Oh, I want to select all the males. Oh yeah, I want to select all the males. So this one here, guys, is giving me what? It's giving me what?
All the
columns for males. Well, actually, just the find is a logical,
all the
right?
positions.
Yeah, find this one here, find equals 0 is gonna give me what?
A logical or
yeah, no. The find gives me positions. Remember, let me.
Oh, positions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me copy this and let's take a look to this one here. What I'm doing here? I'm just creating this one here. Oh, yes. So this is giving me what? These are the columns that satisfy my condition male. 2, 3, 5, and 7. Do you agree? Agree with me or not? This is the find.
Yes, that's true.
So indeed, this one here is giving me the columns. What I want is all rows and all these columns. Yes or no? So give me all the rows. So give me 1, 2, and 3 of the ones that satisfy this condition. Agree with me or not? Yes or no? That's what I want.
So now it will give you the information on those rows that satisfy the condition.
Yes. So, for example, I know that number 2 has 17 years old and is a male. Individual number 3 is 22 years old, is a male. 5, 17, 7, 16. You see that? So basically, this is what we want to do in our program. So, well, I don't call this D. So gender data, if we're talking about a male, so what I want here is not to use 0, do you agree? What I can use here, guys, is my indicator.
It showed me an error. It says unrecognized function.
Where?
Find when I type the command. Yeah.
No, find is fine. What do you mean by find?
It says
We used that last
unrecognized
week, yes.
function or variable. Find. Okay.
No, let's try to do it. I will check your computer in a minute. Okay, so instead of 0 here, what I can do is sorry, it's not in anymore. It is gender now. And instead of using 0 here, can I use this one here or not? Find for and it's not X. Here is what I call that. Okay, guys, you cannot be lost here. So we're doing simply a selection of gender based on gender. For that, I need the matrix, and I need you to tell me what gender you're looking for. Got it? Then, if my gender equals 0, so this implies males. So what I do is I go to my data. So my data is not called X, it's called DAT, D-A-T here. And what I do is give me all the columns. Give me all the rows of the following columns. Those columns that are based in row number 3 that has gender equals 0. And that's all what it will return. So if this is not true, so it means that gender is equals 1, correct? Do I need to do this, yes or no? No, I don't need to do this stuff. Sorry, guys, because here it's much simpler than that. Let me explain you this. This is very simple. This is all. It's extremely simple program. So I have the data. I have the gender. If I have these two informations, I simply select. I will say gender of the data is going to be from the data. Please give me all the rows that satisfy the condition that the gender equals gender. So it can be 0, it can be 1. Make sense? And then I export this value here. That's all what I'm saying. So let me save this one here. And so this one here is going to be called here. So what I will do here, guys, is what I need to do is I need to do this one here.
Prof, can I just ask logically?
Yes, what?
This one, the if statement that you just deleted, were you trying to find a particular gender and now you're just trying to find gender in general?
No. What I'm trying to find is imagine. Okay, so what I will do is let me copy this one here for a minute. And then you're going to tell me. Yeah, so let me copy first X. So I don't need to. I will copy this one here in my program, in my main program. Okay, I don't want to complicate more here at this point. Okay, this is my data, do you agree? And this data here produces this matrix here. Agree with me?
All right.
Then what I want is to select only the males from my sample, but I want to use a program that is called gender select. Yikes, what is that? gender select, what is select? Yeah, I don't know what is gender selector. Yeah, selector. So let me, please guys, my mistake here. I want to save this correctly. 23. Now then, yeah, now I will explain you the logic in one second. Okay, so you're here. Got it? You have this data. And what I want to do, guys, is I want to use another program to select the gender. Got it? So what I will do is I will say, okay, guys, my males, the information of my males is going to be use this function, input the data. So my data is X. And what gender do you want? Well, I want males because I'm selecting males. So that's what I'm doing. So what I'm doing logically is what I've done one by step here. What I want is to create this matrix here.
Why don't you write it how you've just written it now?
No, because I want to show you how you can call a program to do the same program to do different stuff. So for example, how do you select females?
You
Yes,
do the same, but instead of 0, you'd have a 1.
That's it. And then of course the name changes,
And
right?
females, yeah.
And that's all. That's all what you do. It's not selector, selector, yeah. And that's it. That's all what you do. So what I'm trying to teach you is, okay, what you can do is, and then you forget about all this part here, find, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't, this is only for once in your life. And you created this one here, this part here. And once you have created this part here, you forget. So if you want to find 0 and 1, so you simply change the 0 and the 1 and the program is going to run. Okay, so let me show you in a minute.
Prof, I think my confusion came from the if statement that you were doing previously.
No,
so if you were
statement. No, forget about the if statement. We don't need if statement. You see that here? We don't need it. I will create another one that has an if statement. But at this point, no, I don't need anything. Simply comes the data and the gender. And then according to the gender, if this is 0, you select the ones that are 0. If this is 1, you select the ones that are 1. Make sense? And that's all. It's very straightforward. Nothing with ifs here. So, let me put a D. I always do a D here, guys. What is this D? Is not part of the program, but it will stop my program here. Where's my saving? So D, guys, is a trick that I always use. You can use F, X, C, whatever you can imagine, guys. Yes, I just write D. Why? Because I want to stop my program here, just to see what I'm doing. Okay, so let me stop here the program. Remember, the way you run this program here is basically you simply copy here and runs. Oh, what's okay? So you see, I have created X. I haven't done anything at this point. Do you agree with me, guys? Now, what I will do is I will move this X to this program. So it's gonna get X. And I will input here 0. 0 is the gender I'm interested in. I'm selecting males, so I want 0. So what is gonna go here, let's put here also another red button there. You go here again and continue. And you see now it moved to your program. So now I have the data and I know that the gender is 0. So what it will do is it will compute this part here. It will store in gender data. And gender data is going to be the output that is going to be moved into here. And here, what I call is males. Okay, let me continue moving here. And I will do another one here. So let's continue. Take a look to what I have. You see that? These are my males. Now, if I continue, I will continue. I don't want to do this again. Let's continue running. Then I have my males. Then I have my females. Do you see that? Guys, you see that?
I see it. I think I just got a little lost with like going back and forth between the two scripts. So can you-
Yeah, but that's what we need to learn here, because we are going to be using all this back and forth all the time. Here's a very simple example. You can do this like your colleague was saying. Simply, I copy this one here, twice in here, and then I have no issues. But I want you to learn how to use programs between programs. Make
Okay,
sense?
that part, yeah, I get.
And that's all. So basically what you do is you create one program that is generic. This program here is generic. Do you agree? It's agnostic of gender. It's agnostic of gender because it has a gender here. Instead of having a number here, it has a gender. So someone needs to tell this program is 0 or 1. Otherwise, it will not run anything. Agree with me or not? That's why it's called primitive. It doesn't do anything unless some program tells them to do something. You got it or not?
A bit
Yes.
confusing, but yes.
Yeah, but you need to, it's the first time you see this, but it doesn't matter. Let's continue doing more, and then hopefully it's gonna get much better for you. Okay, so this is my data. So let's do, I will call this gender selector, okay? Okay, so now let's do something more complex, perhaps. Let's do, I don't know, drink selector. Okay, and okay to drink. So let me write, perhaps, let's do okay, drink. Do you remember? If I want to do the okay drink, guys, it's basically, let's say, guys, that I will do, I will use something. I will do a comment here. Okay, to drink. Yeah, I will say that 0, not okay, and 1, okay. Okay, so I will use a function that is going to do this. Now, what I will do is I will create another function. Let's create another function that is going to help me only to select ages. Okay, so my function, let's call it my function, perhaps, is going to be called age selector. 23. And then I need 2 inputs. I need the data and I need the indicator. So my indicator is going to be 0. So what I will do here is if indicator equals 0, so this implies not okay to drink. And if indicator equals 1, this implies okay to drink. Got it? So I want to create that matrix. And I will perhaps put this one here. I will export here. What I will do is age drink. And it's going to be equal to this one here. Yeah, and here I can use an if condition. So let me tell you. For example, if int equals 0, we need to do something. Else, we need to do something, and then we close. So what happens, guys, if my indicator is 0? What I need to select? What I need to select, guys? Age data is going to be equal to what? Guys, come on. Age data is equal to what?
All the rows, but the column,
yeah. So I will take the data, and then from the data, we'll select something. Do you agree? So basically, if someone tells me 0, implies that these are guys that are not okay to drink. Got it? So young people. So what is my X here? So let me check my X. Here's my X. Where do I see the data? Where do I find the age?
The second row.
It's the second row, right? And what I need to return is all the columns, correct? Sorry, I need to return all the rows. Agree with me or not?
But you wanted to look on the,
Yeah.
you wanted to return everything that agrees with the condition on the second row, right?
Yes, and then yes. So basically, find data. It is the second row, all columns. I want this to be equal to. Oh, sorry, not equal. Smaller than 21, correct? Agree with me or not, guys? Come on, we have been doing this for almost 3 classes already.
Yes.
Yes.
So the find data too, you know, less than 21. This is gonna give me the. This is gonna give me the columns, the column numbers, and I want to select all the rows that correspond to these columns. Correct? Then you have selected the guys that are not okay to drink. Now, if I do the same, guys, if we do the same and we say this is larger or equal than 21, so this is my okay to drink, guys, correct?
But we haven't told it what it means to be 1. We only did it as a column.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. This is a primitive function. So someone needs to call this function, needs to provide this information in order for this program to run and return data, H data, right? And this one here is going to be the one that I will. And this one here is the one that I will be calling here. So here, guys, what I will do is I will call okay drink. Okay, it's gonna be my function H selector 23. What I need to give it? I need to give it X, and I want the okay to drink are who? Individual is number 1, right? Yes or not? Guys.
But why 1?
Because 1 is going to be okay to drink. So that's what I'm saying. You need to understand the program. So here, if it's 0, implies not okay to drink. If it's 1, obviously the difference is going to be older than 21 years old. And okay to drink is basically 1, right? So that's why in your program you need to write what you're doing. Is 0 not okay to drink? 1 okay to drink. I will write this better. Okay. Now, guys, how do we select those that are not okay to drink?
The same, but with a 0.
Right, I need to change the name, right? And the same with a 0. And that's the idea. So the idea is that you have, and this can be multiple. I don't know if we can create something multiple, but this can have not only 0 and 1, it can have 10, 15, or whatever. Okay, so let's run up to here. So let's put here so let's save this one. Are you, everyone's with me, at least copying the program, because I need to explain you more. Now you want to see the beauty about having this modular way of this. Yes.
Can you just go back to like the actual the program for the drinking aid selection?
Oh, age selector. The name is age selector 23. This one here. Oh,
Yes, age
this one?
selector.
No, this is gender. Where's my age selector? So it should be. Here you go.
Yeah, I think I have it now. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. So now let's start using these two very simple concepts. Okay, so and you try to use what you have here. Okay, you don't create by yourself. What I want from you guys is, I will write this. Select all males. Oh, wait. We haven't run this one. Sorry, let's run. Let's run to be sure that it works. Okay, so I have okay drink age. So take a look. I have the male selected individually. These are only males. Do you agree? In different disregard their ages. These are all males. I have all females, regardless of their age. Now I have okay drink guys. You know, and you can see the only okay drink guy is one male, individual number 3, correct? All the other person are females that are okay to drink. Agree with me or not, guys?
Yes.
And then finally, the not okay to drink are most males. Individual number 1 is a female, 18 years old. Individual number 8 is a female, 17 years old. And all the other guys are males between 17 and 16. Okay, so we have all the data. So now what I want, use what we have created here, plus the programs that we have created, gender and age selector. What I want is you to select all males okay to drink. Okay, and let's call these guys, the name of this variable is going to be males okay drink equals. And then I want you to select, guys, select all females not okay to drink. And let's call this one here females. No, okay. Okay, so use what you have here, nothing more. You cannot create your own code. So you can call other programs, but you cannot create anything else. 3 minutes, guys. Think how you can, what you need to call, what data you can use, because you have created data already here.
We cannot create a new function, right?
No, no, no. You don't need to create a new function here. You have everything at this point.
I mean, can we use like from the?
You can use gender selector. You can use the other one. You can definitely use
I mean,
gender selector. Age
if
selector.
we use the gender selector, then we only have to type in 2 instead of 3. So like now it will look at the second row, which is the age, and then oh no wait no.
No.
Can we use the end function as well, the end command?
Yeah, no, you can use that. The end command is okay.
Okay.
So would it work if we just use like the function, the age function with the reduced data set for like only
Yeah.
males and only females?
Yeah, do you agree? So basically, if I'm okay to rank, what I need to do? This is males, so what I can do is I can use males, right? My data set is now males. Remember, males are males. This matrix has only the males, right?
Yes.
Correct. And then what I need to tell, because MATLAB is not going to understand that males are males, so I need to tell from this one here, age selector, what I want, the okay to drink or not okay to drink.
You want okay to drink, right?
So yeah, okay to
You
drink
want
is 1. Yeah, do you agree? So this one is going to import the males, that is a matrix only of males. And from these males, what it will do is we'll select the ones that are older than 21 years old. And this is going to be stored in males okay drink. And the age selector does that, right? Age selector, if you remember, it has data and selects the ones that are 1, is basically older than 21, and will return all the information of these guys, all the information of the males that are okay to drink. That's perfect. Okay, so now what about this woman here?
So then you would need to use the female data and set it to 0 in the age selector function, right?
So I use the same, right?
Yes.
And then, so instead of this one, I need females, but instead of 0, what I want is 0. All right, guys, remember, females is not a name. Females is a matrix. Huh? So let me stop this here. Let me save this one here. Everyone understand what I'm doing here? So let me run up to here. Take a look. Males is a matrix of only males, regardless of the age. Females, again, is all the females that you have in your sample. You see the 111 at the in the third row. Disregard regardless of the age. Got it? So okay to drink. Well, this is okay to drink. It doesn't do anything. So I have males and females from here. Oh yeah, I can do a different stuff later. Not okay to drink is also all the guys that have they are less than 21 years old. Agree with me, guys? And then when I do age selector, what I'm sending is only the males. And what it will do when I say 1, what it will do is we'll select individual number 3, correct? Here in this case. Guys, yes or no?
But do you want it? I'm a little confused in this last part.
Yes. So what age selector does, guys? It selects all the individuals that satisfy a condition. 1 is older than 21 years old, right?
Correct.
Yes, but my matrix now is made only of males. So that the program is going to do exactly the same. It's going to select those individuals. So for a program, it doesn't matter if it's male or female. The program is going to take this sample or take this matrix, and it's going to select only the ones that satisfy this condition, older than 21 years old. So it's going to give you 3, 22, and 0. Correct? And if you do the same, but here I have females not okay to drink. So basically, females is a matrix, and it's going to select those that are younger than 21 years old. So it's 1, individual 1, and individual 8. Agree with me or not? So let's see if this works. Take a look. Individual 3, 22, 0. Take a look to all the males. The only one that is okay to drink is this guy. Let's take a look to females not okay to drink, 1 and 8. 1 is 18 years old and 8 is 17 years old. So you have been able to accept this one here. This is correct. Makes sense, guys? This weekend, you need to study, please. You need to review this example here and review and understand how this works. Because this is the crucial. That's what I'm telling to you guys. This is one of the most important classes we have during this summer. Okay, so now what I'm asking you guys is, yeah, this is correct, right? So I'm using the age selector. But now I want to find the same, and let's call this, let's call this 2. I want you to find the same answer, but not using age selector, but using the gender selector. Of the females that are not okay to drink. Remember, guys, we have a matrix that is called not okay to drink, right? Take a look to the not okay to drink. It considers the gender of the individuals or not? I mean, it selects only men or female in here.
It has both.
It has both. So what you can use is you can use this matrix here, because gender selector, what it does. Where's my gender selector here? Oh, here we go. What gender selector does, guys? It simply selects between male and female of a matrix. Do you agree? So now your new matrix is going to be this one here, not okay to drink. This is my matrix. So the program is going to take this matrix, and the gender selector is going to select what? It's going to select the ones that have ones, females. And as soon as this is not okay to drink, I have already done the test of checking that these guys are less than 21 years old, younger than 21 years old. Okay, so you do it. Okay, so I'm giving you already the trick. So is this one here? What input do I need here, guys? What is the input that I need to send to this program? Gender selector only selects gender. Okay, it is agnostic to the age. So I need to send this one here, right?
You need the matrix for those who are not of drinking age.
Exactly. And then I'm interested in gender. Females
so
is
one, right?
Yeah, and perfect. And that's all. And that's completely all. So let's take a look. Okay, so let's take a look. It's 1 and 8. 1 and 8. You see, two ways of finding the same stuff, using different programs, understanding what matrices do you have. Okay. Make sense? So let me complicate a little more this one here, and hopefully you can follow up later. So now let's assume, guys, that I have a new matrix, you know, years of education. Let's assume that y equals, let me put any number, 9, 13, 10, 12, 12, 17, 10, 12, 8, 18. So let me perhaps 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So these are years of education, guys. Okay. Basically, what we say is high school, if it's more or equal than 12 years old. 12 years. I need to do this as a command. And let's do grad ed if it's larger than 12. So let's call higher ed. let's define this like that. Okay, this is an example. So let's create, guys, x2, and you tell me what I'm doing is equal to x semicolon y. So what I'm doing here, guys. What I'm doing here, x2. What is x2?
You're adding.
I'm creating
Last row.
the last row, exactly. So what I'm doing is this is x, and I'm putting below this x, I'm writing the years of education. So the fourth row, guys, is going to be the years of education. Remember that. Got it? So now what I want from you guys is please select. So you do this, okay? Select high school, guys. High schoolers, basically y less or equal than 12. And let's use the indicator. Let's assume indicator equals 0. Oh, yeah, sorry. Let's do, if indicator equals 0, I'm talking about high schoolers. And if indicator equals 1, I'm talking about grad students. Okay. And perhaps what you can do is let's create results that are going to be called higher ed. This is going to be the high schoolers. And let's use a function that you can call edu selector. And you tell me what to put. You need to create a edu selector function. Huh? So this is high schooler. And I want the grad ed. That is going to be, let's call it grad ed. Grad ed. And let's call this function here. And you can create your gender selector, guys. What I suggest you to use as a model is age selector. Do you agree? Because in now, 0 is going to mean high school, 1 is going to mean grad. And basically that you need to just check the data that you're going to be sending now is going to be x2, correct, guys? No, this one. Where's my? Yeah, I can close this one. Close this one. So basically, guys, what the data you're going to be sending now is x2, correct? So this is the data you're going to be sending, x2. X2 has an additional row that has the number for years of education. And basically here is, if you're high schooler, you're going to put 0 here. And if it's a grad student, it's going to be 1. And just start building with that. You can use this one here, copy this one here in a different function. So basically what I'm telling you is copy this one, create a new function. And your function is going to be called and basically this is going to be your function, right? 23. Okay, guys, you tell me. You need to write this part here, change this part here, and try to do it. Okay, so this program, what it will do is basically find the individuals that are less than 12 years, that have less than 12 years of education, less or equal, or have more than 12 years of education. Okay. Okay, guys, do it. Let's say 5 minutes. You need to do this stuff. Otherwise, if you don't do this stuff, you're not going to learn, unfortunately. So I'm stopping the the recording, please remind me. Yeah, so my edu selector, guys, remember now my matrix has 4 rows, okay? Then the last row represents the number of years, got it? So what I want to select is, okay, this is not going to be called age data, let's call it edu data. Just naming convention, guys, it will not damage anything. And then what I want is from my data, what I'm going to be looking is what row is going to be the 4th row, correct? And then what I'm interested is high schooler is going to be, if 0 is high schooler, so this is going to be smaller or equal than 12. And if it's college guy, a grad student is going to be larger than 12. What do you think about this program, guys? Very simple. What do you think?
Yeah, that's about what I did. I just
Yeah.
put the equal sign on the wrong one. I had like less than 12 and greater than and equal to.
Right, but the idea is good, right? Makes sense to you guys. Everyone understand these programs, so I can say this one here. And now I need to be sure that this is working correctly. So what I will do is X2. I will export X2 that has an additional row, and 0 implies that I'm selecting the higher education guys, and Y1 implies that I'm selecting the grad education guys. Make sense to everyone? So let's stop here. Let's stop. Let's run this program. Oh, I need to save it. And I will stop here. So let's run. Yeah, let's take a look to X2. This is the main thing here. You see, number 1, individual number 1 is 18 years old, is a female and has 9 years of education. Individual number 2 has 17 years old, is a male and has 13 years of education, etc. Individual number 10 is 20 years old, is a female and has 18 years of education. Make sense, guys? So this is the new matrix that I will send to my program that I call EduSelector. So I'm sending this file, and this file, what I want is 0. 0 means high schooler, so it implies less than 12 years old. So this is going to go into here. Let me put this here. Okay, so let's continue running this one. So it provides the information that has 4 rows and the int. So basically what I'm looking is for individual 0. So it will do the following. Is int equals 0? Guys, is this condition true or false? Guys?
So sorry, one more time. We're looking for at females. Sorry,
No. It's not females. This is education. So I'm not
okay.
not
So
education.
we're looking
is,
at high schoolers or college grads.
That's it. I don't care about the gender. I don't care about the age. This 12 years is number of years of education. Remember that. This is not the age of the individual. This is number of years of education. Oh, I need to change the definitions here. Do you see that?
Okay.
So let me, sorry, I need to do this, otherwise we're gonna get confused here. So let me save this and let's go back to everything. So what I'm saying is, okay, let's run this again. I will stop here. Yeah, where I am. Yes, so I have an additional point of information. That is the last row that implies simply the number of years of education. So this 13 years implies what? It's not that the individual is 13 years old. It's simply that this guy has 13 years of education. This one has 10 years of education, 12 years, 18 years. Got it? Make sense?
Okay, I got it now.
Yeah, and then what I'm going to do is I will use this edu selector to select between higher education individuals or grad education individuals. Well, this should be high school, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so what I'm saying is X2, I'm sending X2, and I need to tell the program 0. 0 for me means high schoolers. So, and if you go here, sorry, I need to continue with the running this one here. If you go here, what the data goes here and the int is 0. So what I'm telling this program, this primitive program is give me from this data all the individuals that have less than 12 years old. It's 12 years of education. And so that's what we do. The data, fourth column, all columns, give me, select those that satisfy the condition that are less or equal than 12 years of education. Correct? I mean, this in zero. So if you continue this one here, let's go to census data. If you continue doing this stuff here, where's my, no. If you continue this stuff, so let me stop. Yeah, I can continue here. I don't need this anymore. Take a look, guys. Do you see? Higher education, well, it should be high school education. It's basically all the individuals, regardless of gender, regardless of age, that have less or equal than 12 years of education. Let's take a look to the last column. Take a look to the last column. So there are a mixture of male and females. There is a mixture of, people older and younger. If you take a look to the grad education, guys, so we have 3 individuals with more than 12 years of education. Individual 2, that is a male. Individual 6 and 10, that are females. And years of education, 17 and 18. Makes sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Guys, those that are not understanding, please, you need to review this example, okay? You need to review it. Not only this example, all the class. This class is crucial, please. Okay, so now you do the following. With all the information that you have and with all the programs that you have, these 3 programs, gender selector, age selector, education selector, use these 3 as you want and create the following. Let's say male with grad education. And let's call this one here male grad. Find that. Let's find all high schoolers okay to drink. And let's call this one high schoolers okay drink. Okay, so this is going to be a little more complex, but you can do that. All females that are high schoolers and okay to drink. So here you need a bunch of things. So let's do, I will give you all females. You need to select first all females. All females in high school. You can do it in different ways, but I just want you to follow this one. All females from high school. And then I want all females high school okay drink. Then I want you to tell me what is the average age of homeschoolers. And let's call this ABG H higher ed. And let me, the last one, female that attended college. Well, this is basically grad studies. And I want all female grad ed. Okay, 5 minutes to do the first 2 at least. Oh, I'm stopping. Yeah. Okay, so here what I'm doing is male grad. So what I want to do is I want to use the gender selector on this new matrix. The new matrix, the graduate education has all the people that has 12 or more years of education, regardless of gender, regardless of age. Right? So what I will do is I will select, I will use the gender selector with this data and selecting only 0. 0, remember guys, means male. Got it? And this should work. So now, what about a high school okay to drink? Okay, so let's take a look to the high schoolers. We call higher education. So we have all individuals, regardless of gender, regardless of age, correct? So the one that tell me if you're okay to drink is the age selector, correct, guys? Agree with me or not?
Yes.
Okay, so age selector, what I will do is I will send all the high education guys, because this data set has all the high education, and then it's okay to drink. Remember that okay to drink is 1. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, guys, the remaining part is going to be for you. Okay, read, study. So I will, let me save this one here. I will send you the new assignment homework 3 that is going to be related to this stuff. You need to study, guys. Okay, I understand that this is the first part that is tricky. The first time, no issue. But please, during the weekend, we have a lot of days to study and repeat and review what we have done today. Okay, I will record this one here, and I will send this to you as soon as I can. I will call tomorrow IT for them to upload this very quickly. Make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
will the homework be due on Monday? Next
Sorry?
Monday? Will
Oh, yeah. So we are going to do a homework. Wait a second. I think I wrote this today, homework 3. Yeah, so let me move my homework. So this is going to be the homework. No, it's basically, I'm telling you, yeah, this is the one. Oh, yeah. This was the first question. I was expecting you. So for you, it's going to be 23 here. No, what I'm telling to you is, okay. Yeah, I think these are the ones. So basically what I'm telling to you is finish this program. Be sure that it runs, understand everything. Got it? This is the first one. And the second one is basically create a program that computes linear equations. Got it? It's very simple. This one is very simple.
okay,
This one here is the one that I want you to understand, please, at the maximum.
which day is it due? Would it be due
On
next?
Monday. This is Monday.
Okay.
So remember, this is as a matter for you, is studying. This one here is really studying what we have done. Okay? And this one here is something new. This is due for Monday, guys.
Professor, just on the homework that was due today, I'm not sure if we have time, but I think question 2
the bond,
was a
yes. No,
confusing.
forget about that. I told you last week, just do number 1, 2 if you can, but I will do number 2 next class.
Oh, okay, because I
do that.
did 1 and 3. So can I send that?
Yeah, send it to me. The bond part of the equation, forget about that. We're gonna do that, creating a program for us. We're gonna create an M file for the bond.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
All
okay,
right,
guys?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, please study a lot. And we'll see you on Monday. I will send you the material, the videos, etc. tomorrow early, okay?
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Thanks,
Have a
Professor.
nice weekend.
All right. Bye,
Take
Professor.
care. Bye,
Take care,
guys.
Professor.
Bye, guys. Good night.